All right, gang. We were sitting here in the back. I was just about to press live, and I realized that I had the wrong profile, so I had to hang up the profile and come back. And then now the polls are back, and then Lou is drying her hair, so she'll be here in a second. Um, I told Mary Lou, I was like, "Oh, my hair dries when I'm walking to the studio." This is too funny. Um, yeah, this is way too funny. What I'm doing right now is I was looking for a a Batman mask to print for Lou's cat because she wanted that. Like, why? Why is she so mental? She has serious problems. She's like, "Hey doc, you know what I need? I need one of these." I was like, "Okay." So I've been sitting here looking for a Batman mask. Oh, Obs, you're gonna like this. Oh, come here. I just printed this Ubre, and it's still stuck to the thing. I printed it last night. Oh, it just comes right off. Okay, and then take out the little 3D printing hairs that go in there. You normally can just hit it with a torch, and it goes away pretty good. And then Obs already knows what it is. Ooh, oh, it fits like a glove. This one's a little fat. This one's a little fat, but the the other one fits. And then I got one more pin somewhere hiding in here. But the only the only thing bad about this obs is that the ink is all gonna lay sideways. And in theory, I kind of want it to tilt a little bit. I kind of want it to tilt a little bit head down, so that way the needles don't dry. So I got to figure out a way to angle it just a smidgen. You know what I mean? So it has like a slight little tilt that way. But no, it's cool. It sits right on the desk because I keep moving these pens all around my desk, and now I can just place it right there. And it doesn't hit the microphone arm. So when I need to grab one, I can just be like, whew. Oh, this is cool. I gotta make the pocket a little bit wider for my coconut. But yeah, there you go. I'm gonna go buy some green plastic. I'm gonna send you one made in green fluorescent plastic. Super elastic bubble plastic. She said I totally inked up some old shorts. That sounds like a whole different thing, yo. That sounds like something that old men have problem with inking up some shorts. Oh, see, I bet you Lou thought we were still recording the what you call today because I talked to her right before this. Um, boom. Let me do this. So what are you guys working on? What's popping? People in the chat. I'm sure there's more people here than Hirsch and Obs. You know, don't be shy. Don't be scared. Say stuff. Let us know you're out there. You got any questions? Let us go. What we're gonna do is the pre-show first, and then we're gonna come through and record the actual podcast. What is up, At? Uh oh, she working on her podcast. Yes. Branjo in the building. I'm just laughing at my video that I sent to Branjo. I thought it was funny. I'm like, she's gonna kill me. Uh, what's up, Min? Min is in the building today. She said, "I'm here for the food." Yo, you know what I haven't started yet, which I normally would. I normally try to kick off, like would have kicked off last weekend, so it has time to get the flavors all up in there. I have a recipe from like ye old England, like it's a couple 100-year old recipe for mulled wine, and I normally make big batches of mulled wine for all my friends. But then I give it the little Hawaii flair by adding some hibiscus flower to it. But oh my god, the house smells so good when I be making that joint. Like it's kind of delicious. It's kind of delicious. I might have to make some. When you gonna launch Doc Popsicles? Look, the one I got people asking me for now, Chris, is to make little muffins for the DJI in the road. And I'm like, bruh, I'm still recovering from the first pain. Oh, teacher's journal video. I like it. I like it. You know, in the Nice to Know, Nice to Have November series, I did a lot of talking about journaling and how it really does help. Like, grab yourself a little book like such, or, your composition book. And I tend to use this little guy right here because Japan is so smart. They make it where these are basically made out of Starbucks straw. You know the when you get the refillable doohickey. So the book lays completely flat on the desk like this, and these are squishy, so they don't. You write, especially left-handed people, when you write and you have the metal spirals, then they just like dig in your hand, and the book is uncomfortable. So I always buy tons of these when I go to Japan because a they're super cheap. They're really good paper, like they can handle fountain pen, and the soft spirals is such a brilliant thing that I swear I don't see here when I go hunting for books in the store. And the one thing I didn't talk about, we're talking about all the journaling stuff that's out there, is Apple's new journal app. And it's cool. I just started messing with it, but it prompts you. So, like, there's those days where you just like, I don't know what I want to write, which you should never have that problem because unless you sat on the couch all damn day, like, you should have something to write. And even if you did sit on the couch all day, you had to watch something, so you still got something to write. You can be somewhat reflective, and I think it's cool how the prompts and stuff that it gives you. But yeah, I like the idea of journaling no matter what, like even as a teacher. But like I said, for most of you who are just starting what you're doing, just journal for 2 minutes to yourself with a camera, so you can just get over the fact of staring into a camera and not knowing what to say. Like it's I think it's relatively easy. You could make a you could make a one line journal every day. As a matter of fact, there is a book, also Japan, go figure. There's a book called the 5 Year Journal, and basically what you do is you write in a one line every day, and then on each page it's like 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, and it's a 366 page book, and you basically write that, sort of one line for the 5 years, and you go back and you look at it, you can see each year the next day. Oh, Branjo has that journal. Yeah, you can basically see the next day what it is that you was doing the year prior, and it's really good. So I'll pull up an Amazon link for it because they have them on Amazon. Again, they come from a company called Midori Paper in Japan, or the importer here is called Design Phil, um, like Phil as in Philip. But it's a really cool book, the 5 Year Journal. Michael Hyatt's journal is somewhat like that as well. Oh, let's do that one. Let's do that one. Design Field 5 Year Diary. There it is. There it is. See? It has the Gonye no Shiro Honi Yomo Imo Yoro. It's so hard to read that. It's too small. But basically, what the pages look like is like this. Can I embiggen that? Yeah. So like, if it was what's this day? July 7th. If it was July 7th, you basically got room for like one line. You just kind of crank it, and then the next year you're gonna do that all the way down for 5 years. So July 8th, and you just basically thumb through and you put in your basically one sentence every day for all of them days. She's gonna start spinning around in her chair like the Exorcist. What is she doing? Oh, you have a 5 year? Akşamya nandiyeni. Ama yahuka. Sorry.
To go back and look at I'm like where did I where was I like this day however many years ago, and I was like, oh, she was having a bad day.
Yeah, that's why I like it. I like the fact that you
Yeah,
just
it's
kind
really
of go
good.
in there and see what you was doing. Be like, I ain't tripping.
Just like a one liner of there are a lot of like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
Just what is this?
Definitely, I was in a different headspace 5 years ago. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't as like on point as now.
Where were you 5 years ago? What was that, 2019?
Yeah. Well,
Wow, in the
technically,
before times.
yeah, 2019. I this time
December 2019.
2019. Oh yeah, I was absolutely pissed. Okay, so I had my knee surgery on Veterans Day 2019, and the day after, you got to get up and you got to walk around, right? So you're dying, but you got to put weight on it, and I was fine. The second day, the lady comes in and she was like, "Okay, I'm here for your PT," and I was like, "Yo, there's something going on with my fentanyl pump, and right now my pain is like super high. The nurse says she's gonna fix it, but they're just backed up right now. Can you come back?" And she's like, "Well, we'll just get up and see how you're doing." And I was like, "Lady, I'm telling you how I'm doing." But she was this like, 20 something, just got out of PT school, go getter. She wanted to do her thing. And instead of refusing, I called myself being gangster and I'm going to just do it. And as soon as I stood up, I shot right through my nerve block. And anybody who's had, a major surgery knows the nerve block holds you down until your body would be at a level where normal pain medicine would work. And so instead of a 3 day hospital stint, I ended up in rehab for 2 weeks in a rehab hospital because the level of opioids they had to put me on, they wouldn't let me go home. So like I was just getting home about now for something that should have been a 3 day hospital visit. I was like, bruh.
And like, why not listen? Why not just listen to the person?
Yeah.
It's their body.
Yeah, and it was my fault. I mean, no, it's her fault for egging me on, but it's my fault for just telling her, let me explain to you what the word fuck off looks like. It's real simple. It's monosyllabic. I need you to get about your business. And so it was dumb because I was too busy trying to be thorough instead of just telling her
Mm,
no. And it jacked
right.
me up. It really jacked me up.
Yeah, but like I don't completely blame you for that because you're under a lot of like duress and like medication
Drugs.
and all of that. So you can't really like answer as you would normally, right? Normally be like fuck all the way off, but
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that point you're like, okay, I guess here you go.
It was super stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see,
Man.
where was I? Of December of 2019, I had been working a job that I just had for a couple of months. So I had like a year where I had been laid off. Like I think I got laid off when like the year before 2018. So it was a year of trying to find work. I found something around October, and then so by December coming around, it was like the first time I'd worked in an office in a really long time, and I was like, this place is messed up. Like I was like, what is the drama you guys have here? It really just blew my mind. I was like, there's real stuff happening outside. And but like I got to come in like an outsider, and I just was like, all right, fine, we're throwing everything out. We're changing like they did not know what to do with me because I was like, this is a mess. And if you hired me, we're gonna unmess this. And yeah, so like, but I knew I was like, I have to leave this place because it was so toxic. And I just was like, how do I get out of here before the summer? Because they were gonna go to Comic-Con, and I already knew like their whole setup for Comic-Con was a mess, but they weren't listening to me on trying to make it better. So it's like, great, I just have to get out before then. And then the pandemic hit, and then I was out. I was
Man,
like,
that's
thank you.
crazy. You know why it's crazy is because when you sit there and you're saying that, it makes me think of how many people. Hi, Will. I can just tell Will came in because you started smiling at the corner, and unless you're really on drugs, that means Will came through. What's up, Danger?
He
um,
came to get his stuff.
I was like, okay, either that or she's really high right now. So, but you realize when the type of office environment you were in, and you realize if you go downtown, look at any building, realize that there's 400 to 500 of those offices in said building, and realize that pretty much 50% of sort of organized, business culture runs that way. And that's why so many people are twisted. Because let's put it this way, the same stuff that we try to fight here on this show is happening in offices with people who don't have the ability to tell each other off. Like, we're friends, we're family over here. We tell each other off
Yeah.
all day long. Yolanda would be like, Doc, listen, damn it, you tripping. You need Alicia would be
Right,
like,
because we don't
I
pay each
second
other's
that
bills.
emotion. Right. So because we're friends, we take that level and we make adjustments and be like, okay, you know, she might be right. I hate telling Yolanda she's right because she would not stop rubbing it in. And oh, you never seen her when she does her okay, y'all listen, I'm Yolanda, and then, and then she does her commercials. She has these breakout commercials that happen in class, and they're so good. Like, they're hilariously good. But she like, listen, all you need to do is be like this. And then she goes down and she does her little TED talk, and it's flawless. It's super hilarious.
The lawyer
But
comes out.
we all love and respect each other, so we could take that level of heat and realize that, yeah, you probably need to make some adjustments. But I think so many people in the corporate environment, especially because of your little degrees and all the stuff you got on the shelf, you don't often be willing to hear what somebody else is trying to explain you, and then they get bent. And that's why I mentioned a couple times in my videos over the last month or so, sometimes when the people's got nasty stuff to say to you in the comments, they're a little bit right. It's just they said it in a jacked up way. So if you could take the criticism part and make it less try to be a holy or less whatever, and just realize there's probably a nugget within what they're saying, fix that. But then take the FU part of it and just like, write their name on the paper and burn it, or print out the comment and catch it on fire or something.
Will's
What's
gonna
up,
come say
Dange? How you doing, brother?
hi. Danger, danger,
Danger over
danger,
here.
danger.
Danger. What up, Doc?
Oh my God, Will is the best. I like those pants. They look very
It
comfy.
is, yeah. He says you're the best, and he likes your pants.
Hey, thank you.
So, alternatively, on around December of 2019, we're talking about where we were like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship for about 2 years. We were living in separate places, and we're like, you know what? Let's start thinking about moving in together. And then found the apartment we're in now, and here we are.
Here we go.
Oh man, 2019 ruined Will's life.
You said 2019 ruined your life.
Best year ever.
Yeah, there's like when we moved in together, it was like February of 2020, and
Nice timing,
then the
guys.
lockdown happened. Oh yeah, and it was like, well, we about to find out if we actually like each other, and fortunately, we
wow.
really do like each other a lot.
What a great man, because that could have been potentially dangerous, like in so many.
Yeah, but
In
that's
so,
what, we had both lived in long-term relationships before. So I was really hesitant to move in together. Sometimes people date and it's like as soon as you start to like each other, you're like, yes, let's move in together.
yep.
And I was like, no, we need time. We need time. And even when we moved in here, I was like, I don't know, this is a mistake. But it wasn't. It was the right move.
Wait, so did you guys have one cat each, and then you guys?
No, I got Gizmo earlier in 2019 against said layoff. I was just at home and I was like, I need a cat. And so I had Gizmo. We moved in together, and I was like, if we move in together, we need to get a second cat because I was working in the office and Will was working production. So it's like Gizmo can't be home by herself. Let's get a second cat, but you have to pick. So Will picked Zilla the day before lockdown.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We were like, we had been looking for a couple of weeks and then we went. It was like even getting Zilla was a whole story, but we went and we got her and then you're like, okay, we're gonna go get her fixed and all of that. And then and then lockdown. It was like my birthday. We went to dinner for my birthday. We got the text messages at the dinner table that said, this is the last night of restaurants. Enjoy.
Wow, come on. And Obs got married that day. All right, so
Wow.
you know what? I kind of like this thread. I think what we should do is talk about sort of review and reflection and how to turn those into things that you can use for power.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like
That's
it.
cool.
Review
What's
and
up, PK?
reflection.
Yeah, let's do some review and reflection and how we can turn those things into power.
It's number 20.
Yeah. So crazy.
20, 20, 20.
Next episode will be old enough to drink.
And we gonna take the next 2 weeks off. I'm guessing because they're
100%.
holidays.
Paul asked me today some crazy. Said, "Hey, are you doing the stream on it?" Hell no, Paul. I'm gonna be drunk. Paul texted me
Yeah, I
at
was like,
6 o'clock
we're
this morning
already
on
drunk.
Slack
Let's
talking
go.
about, "Hey, are you gonna do this episode of Tech Talk?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. I'm gonna be faded in the corner." He's like, "Okay, people, let's talk about setting up." Here you can. I'm gonna be turned.
We could just turn it into like holiday party,
Dude,
live stream.
I might do random, drive-by streams, but
Yeah,
we're having our
that's how I'm feeling.
employee party on the 17th, which
Ooh,
is
today?
tomorrow.
That's tonight, Doc.
It is tonight. Oh yeah. So basically, after tonight, Doc about to be. Y'all gonna be like, what is that cloud?
Oh,
of
we are
smoke?
definitely going to do surprise streams then, drive-by streams. I was like, when you're drunk, you text me and be like, let's go. Let's go
What is
right
that
now.
cloud of smoke coming from Doc's studio, huh? I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, so after tonight, I'm off. I ain't doing jack. I mean, I have some stuff I need to do for Podfest, but other than that, I'm gonna just be chilling. Me and Kleb and Paul.
Fun. We're going to be party crashers.
Yeah.
If a link shows up.
Yo, guess what I just found out today?
Mm.
Paul booms out of nowhere, like the voice of reason. Sorry. He's like, "Hey, Tora." I got a message today from Ken, and he's like, "I'm coming to Florida," and I'm like, "What?" Oh, so the boss is coming. We about to have fun.
Fun. Yeah. So wait, after our call today, then we're going to make sure Mary Lou is also coming.
I'm like, yeah, right when Ken said that, I was like, oh, we still ain't booked Mary Lou's plane ticket. This could be a problem.
Yes. I was like, oops. I woke up thinking about this. I was like, oh, shoot. We needed to do that last week. Okay, cool. So we're talking about reframing history.
Yeah. Well, that's actually good too, because a lot of times what's holding you back is something from your way back. You know what I mean? A lot of times we're holding on to luggage. I think it's about doing the self-inventory. That's the best way I describe it. When I do these to myself, that sounds so weird. They're sort of like taking a self-inventory and being realistic with yourself so that you can like give yourself grace and set yourself with the start over again. Like Minnie just said in the chat, it's kind of do a little start over again. It's easy not to give yourself grace. We were hanging out last week, and Yolanda's doing this crazy challenge. She's streaming every day for this month, and we were talking about, one particular type of stream that might work for her. And she was like, well, I don't know if I could do that because I'm not an expert on XYZ. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. You can stream it, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to start here. I'm asking y'all for help. Let's go. And then so we did a challenge and I said, okay, give me one of them legal things to talk about. And with no research, no nothing, I'm just going to go and show you what a stream of consciousness looks like for I just got served this information and I need to know this. So I'm going to tell y'all where I'm at. And then y'all got any advice for me, drop it down in the chat so I can, go down the right rabbit hole. And we kind of did an example. And I forgot what she put on me, but it was something like frolic and detour or some crazy, random legal thing I had to go down. And I just, pull up a sheet and it's like, this is what it says on the government site, but I need to know the ends because I'm not trying to get sued. And I just did an example of what it would look like to put yourself out there from a completely, I know nothing about what I'm talking about. Oh, motion for judgment and acquittal. I don't even know where the heck I got frolic and detour from, but that is a legal thing. I do know that. I don't know what the hell it means. I just know that the first time I heard it, I cracked up laughing on the floor.
I was like, that should be the name of our podcast is Frolic and Detour.
Dude, all the legal kids would be hanging out with us.
Talking about whatever. Like
it does, but it doesn't mean what we
like
think
a
it means,
tangent?
But no, a frolic and detour is something totally weird. I forgot what it is, but I heard it one time and I just thought it was the funniest thing. And they're like, yeah, it's a legal terminology.
A minor departure from employee's duty, but it's still considered acting within the scope of employment is a detour. And then a frolic is a major departure from the scope of employment undertaken for that employee's own benefit.
Yeah, like trying to block an election and claiming it's under your presidential duties. Maybe that qualifies.
Oh, maybe that's a frolic and a detour. I see. Okay, cool. Okay, fun. I like that.
Ooh, hold on. Let me see what Tora said. Sometimes Tora she'd be right. Don't tell her I said that.
Yeah, she's the
one. I
one.
was just jotting noise early this morning and someone said, I need to make a comeback. I asked, did you ever start to even make a comeback though? A comeback happens after a setback. And the only thing that comes to mind, Tora, is don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Sorry. you know how I be.
Doc, what's your favorite Christmas song?
My favorite Christmas song is Donny Hathaway. This Christmas, fireside and blazing bright. It's the one Christmas song that speaks not of the little kid in diapers. It speaks not of the manger. It speaks not of anybody's religion. It speaks not of...
Yeah.
It just speaks of Christmas and being, with your people. It's about you enjoying Christmas instead of you parlaying.
Is that the one that's like a very special Christmas?
Yes,
with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Take my hand. The funny thing about it is Donnie actually jazz musician and a gospel kid, but he wanted to make an extremely like a Christmas song that supported all of his things, but not push it upon anybody else. And so that's why, and strangely enough, that's why I like it. White Christmas sung by Porky Pig. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Come on, Luis.
Is Porky Pig just a rapper?
Yes, he said they just say the little kid in diapers. Yes, I don't know. My vision was Cupid, but you know what I meant. No mangers, no goats, no kings, no frankincense, no myrrh. Just this Christmas.
I was thinking about the three kings. I couldn't remember what everything they brought, but I was like, are they just Scentsy dealers? They're like essential oil dealers. And they're like, hey, Mary, heard you've been having a stressful time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about some essential oils.
They were selling Detour. One brought the frankincense. Dude, I love the freaking smell of frankincense. Look, that stuff, it smells delicious, but yeah. Man, let me do what I was
Okay,
doing.
so I
I'm over
have
here
some
messing
stuff
up.
in bullet point options. Just
Am
doing just
pulling it up.
brainstormies now.
Pulling it up.
And if the direction
Oh,
doesn't seem right, then we can keep
I
looking, keep
am
digging.
rearranging this office. It's about to be good. Okay, let's see. Bullet point options.
All right.
Yes, yes, definitely. This one is important. I think we need to define what that is because people ain't gonna know. Wait, I know Mary Lou can't move the thing while I'm typing, but my mouse did that, and I wasn't having any problems with my mouse until yesterday. Paul bring it up, and then now my mouse is acting a fool, and I'm like, "Damn it,
Your mouse
Paul!"
is possessed.
No, Paul. You know how you somebody get sick and then you get sick. Paul had a problem with his mouse, so he said that on the stream to me and Ken, and now all of a sudden my mouse is acting a fool. He was like, "Let me go ahead and curse this dude's mouse." Man, something about streaming in the winter that as soon as you start streaming, the nose starts running. What the hell? Okay. Uh,
A very special Christmas.
oh, this is good.
Today, fun fact, is Gretchen and her husband's 47th anniversary.
Damn,
Happy
Bob,
anniversary.
you're a tough individual. I don't know how you put up with that crazy lady for that long. Mary Lou is like, happy anniversary. I'm sending black roses to Bob.
It's so funny. The chat GPT is like, here's Doc's perspective. Here's Mary Lou's perspective. I was like, you don't know that, but like, kind of.
Mary Lou's compassionate take. Doc's asshole take. Damn it, chat. How do you know? How do you
Ooh,
know?
because you trained it right. You trained it right. Okay, why self-inventory matters. Yes.
Oh, look, going back to what Tatiana talked about, look, it brings up the journaling prompts. These are good practicals right here.
Yes.
These are very
Okay.
good practicals. Journaling, the audio reflection, doing some creative exercise. Oh my God, I was just doing the hero's journey. Holy crap, I was just drawing this out.
Yes.
Oh, that's so crazy. I was just drawing this out in my notebook because I was thinking about making a video about hero's journey and other story arcs.
Yes, do it.
Dude, this, and I didn't even use ChatGPT for that. I was just using it in my own brain. So it's funny that oh, they might be tapped in. That'd be scary. They're tapped in. Tap in. Sorry.
Okay, we got, so I like our definitions for the beginning. What is, right? Like,
Yo, what is up? Happy birthday, Mike.
happy birthday.
The AH got stuck. uh Tora. Hey, Paul, if you want to ship something to the wrong place, so you can use RCP too. Gretchen said, I'm listening. Oh man, I had to go watch my niece play, and my boy held out on the big news is we went to go watch Beetlejuice Jr. And then I was like, oh, my niece Ayami, I just call her Ami. I was like, oh, I wonder where Yami's gonna play. And then, they start the little show, whatever, and then they get to the part, and then the Beetlejuice comes out, and it was her. And I was like, what? Yo, she's the little gangster is freaking Beetlejuice. She crushed it. And she had to do the voice the whole time. Hey, I just need you to say my name 3 times. And it sounded so cute coming from a little 12-year-old. But she's kind of loud and obnoxious and out there. If there was a small Mary Lou, it would be my niece Ayami. She is definitely a drama kid. She's theater kid for sure. But oh my gosh, she crushed it. I was just sitting over there. I was just like, yeah, yo, that's my piece right there. Look at her. She's killing it. Yo, she was super good. And some of those kids could sing. Oh my God. They did the musical version, Beetlejuice Jr. And I'm like, man, these kids out, they're so talented. Everybody talks smack about kids. And I'm like, they're doing the same stuff we was doing. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
kind of funny how we tend to look at it differently from this perspective, but they're doing the same stuff we were doing.
All right. I'm going to shake things up for pick of the week.
Okay.
We're going to do not a product, but a reflection.
Ooh.
Pick of the year.
Ooh.
So these are just like in the pick of the week segment are just prompts, but you'll get the vibe. It's a personal win. Personal win pick of the week. All right, we need still a bullet point 2. Where are we going to be? Is it like maybe 1 is what is self inventory, and then part 2 we can just like kiki about why it's important.
Yeah, the power of things from the power of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, I like this mistake to milestone. Those are good.
Yoink, yoink, yoink. It's like I'm always amazed just how well everything falls into place once we get going. Systems, you guys,
Systems, number one, and the other thing is funny because again we brought this up last week. Somebody had asked in the questions, but one of the okay, so when you get in your car, right? So you're driving somewhere, and you don't really know where you're going, but then as you get there, like we were in Amesbury a couple of months back, and once you go up and down that freeway like 2 times, you kind of know what you're doing. The first time you do it, you're like looking out the window. You got that lean while you're driving, like you're scared you're gonna miss a turnpike, not a turnpike, an exit. You feel like you're gonna miss an exit. You're gonna do something weird. But as you do it, you got your GPS there. Your Google Maps is telling you things. Of course, she be wrong, as we found out a couple, 2, 3 times. But you get that comfortability driving around there from driving around there. There's no way to do it sitting at a desk with a pen and a compass. The only way to know that the map is off and the turn is, especially going to Glenn's office in that damn country ass roads, the only way to know that that turn is not going to turn where the thing says it's going to turn, if you take that turn, you'll end up in somebody's yard, is to be there because the map maker was slightly off. So someone giving you instructions isn't the same thing as you actually doing it and course correcting with your experience, with your vision, with your perspective. So that's why this works, because as we start to do it, it flows in and then you can make the necessary turns. This is why everybody keeps asking for somebody to give them a turnkey system that will guarantee work for their content. And there's no such fathering, melon farming, master Frenching thing. Because if I could never give you my system turnkey and you could rock with it because you ain't me. First of all, you would know how to read past the typos. I can read the typos. I made them. But there's no way for you to pick up somebody else's system and follow it to the letter. It just doesn't work. You really Rich said, "Hey now, you have to." And I swear, I did it myself. Like I bought so many of these turnkey traps that were supposed to do something, and I realized, oh, this would work except for I have this one part that doesn't really work for me, and or this two parts, and sometimes one turns into seven, and then you realize it doesn't work for you. But all you had to do was make the minor adjustment to make that one thing work for you, and the other things may or may not fall back in place, or you'll realize you just have to do them totally different. You know, so when you see the cooks on the what is that Food Network, and they're saying, "Hey, we're making this recipe, and this does require a bunch of salt. But if you are a person with hypertension or something else, just substitute the salt for dash. Or if you don't want to use wine because you know you're one of those weird people that think your kids are going to get drunk off of a little bit of wine and food, stupid. You can use this, ingredient to replace that, or this other ingredient to replace that, right? Because like a lot of Japanese food has sake in it. There's no way in freaking hell you're gonna get drunk from the sake that you put in cooking. It's there to take the gamey taste off of meat, and it burns out. So it's just basically rice water. But people are super weird. So when they teach that, they always have to have this, little caveat. But I feel like they shouldn't have to say that. You already know that, so you just substitute it and let them give the recipe the way it is without like slowing the whole shit down because you're the weirdo who thinks that a tablespoon of sake is somehow gonna make your kid drunk. And in the U.S., it's about the Mormons because they don't drink, right? So they have to put in, oh well, if you cannot have sake, like bro, if a tablespoon of sake or a tablespoon of vodka in the stew in the vodka sauce is going to take you out your entire religion, I think you got whole separate problems. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
Whole different problem.
You got whole separate problems. Right, right. How does that work for those people who say, "Let me sell you my exact system of how I did it"? And Mary Lou says it all the time, Tora. Be careful of the person that's selling you something like that because
Be
the
careful of the
reason,
people making money off of teaching you how to make money.
yeah, they're basically making money teaching you how to make money. And then so they're able to show you their stats on, okay, some of these channels who show you their stats on how much they earned, like, oh, I earned over $1 million on YouTube, normally are selling how to make $1 million on YouTube. Yeah, that's what they be selling.
Yeah. Not that people can't learn stuff, right? And not that like coaches can't be out there coaching, right? Like
I
we're
coach
out here teaching people,
a hundred
right? We're
percent.
doing that, but with some like a reality check attached to it,
Right. I also
right?
don't.
So
I don't sell like here's my exact system, follow it to the letter, because my system is whack, bro. My system is 115% whack, but it works for me because I'm
mhm.
180% whack. But I can tell you how to make your own system, and then so everybody be like, "Well, you should just sell me a thing of how you did it." No, I can't. I wouldn't do that. It's just not in my. It's not in my wheelhouse. And I'm not mad at anybody who does it. I'm just like, do you want to buy that? And I know this because I did it like a dummy. I've
Mhm.
already wasted
Yeah,
that
I've
money
I've
for
done it
you.
every time. I'm like, where did that $29 go? Oh,
Yeah.
I had to yell at one. I had got something because I wanted to see how they had framed it. It was about making like faceless content, and a lot of people ask about that. I have opinions on it, but I was like, let me see what this person's teaching is $29, and then they would not stop calling me. And then like when I finally they would call when I was like in the gym or on a live stream or whatever. I finally got someone on the phone. I was like, listen, if you call me one more time, like I do not want it. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I asked to unsubscribe. I said, don't call me back. I said all of this, and still here you are. And they're like, oh, sorry. I'm like, yeah, bye.
Girl, bye.
Girl, bye. But like, so right now we're in like Video Creator Club. We're in like the thick of our 12 video creation challenge, and like I came up with a format to challenge people, but it's like it's very much to make it your own. It's kind of just like here's where we can go, but like Alicia, AT is like top of the class, and she's like, yep, I've redone
Always.
it, I've done these formulas, I've done this, I'm actually going to do it twice. And I was like, girl, yes, do it.
Yes, she she is the She is that one. She is that one. Man, stop telling me you got a package for me clearing some type of shit with a USPS.com dash
Nope. Lies.
trackyqgy.top/US. Like, man, I ain't stupid. Why you wasted a text on me? Because I ain't the one.
I have been messing with scammers for sport lately. I don't know. Sometimes you just
Oh
have
my
time.
God. So do I. I love it.
Sometimes you don't have time, right? You just like block, delete. And then other times I'm like, if I waste your time, that's less time you have to scam someone else.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, really? Tell me more. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah. Give me examples. Sure. And then I get to the point where I'm like, yeah, but like, what's the scam? And then they're like, this isn't a scam. I was like, no, but it is. Like, can you just explain the scam to me? Like, I'm really curious. And then they're like, they block me.
I love it when they ask me, hey, can you go? Because I get, hey, this is Glenn. It's super funny with two N's. So automatically I
Mm.
know it's BS. Can you use your company card and go get like 5,000 in Best Buy gift cards? We want to give those to our customers. And I'm like, cool. Hey,
Oh,
I'll
sure.
be right
Yeah.
back. And then I get a message a couple hours later. Hey, did you go get them? I was like, yeah. And it turns out my friend works there, so instead of getting 5,000, I got 10,000, but I only paid like two. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and send these out. Give me the address so I can send it to the people. And they say, oh no, you got to send it to us. I'm like, well, that's dumb, cause that's just wasting the stamp. Like it's so much faster if I just send it. Just send me the addresses. I'll send them myself. And then I was like, if you want, I could go buy some more because my friend's gonna be working until late. So I get like another 6 or 7 emails going back, and I just basically mess with them, bro.
Sometimes when there's time, it's for sport.
Yo, Mike said, flaming brandy on your Christmas pudding, the alcohol is burned off. So it's best to add it to the kids' jello to keep the benefits. Yes, dude, jello shots. That's where it came from. Some mom screwed up. She was trying to make something and it fell in and she left it. And then she's like, oh, hold up. And then next thing you know, we got drunk 20 somethings all over the planet doing jello shots. I don't even know if that's still a thing, but oh my God, jello shots was all the rage when we was coming up. These kids now are vegan. How do you do vegan jello shots? I'm curious. Because jello is made out of like cow leg.
Yeah. Who knows?
Kathy knows. She's not here today. All right. I think we're good. I'm ready.
Yeah. I think we are good too.
Let's go. Man, it's super funny that the hero's journey thing came up. I was just doing a whole bunch of scribbling notes talking about that.
Ooh, I can't wait
And
to hear more about that.
oh my God, I did a small video stream and small video stream. That just sounded super dumb, Doc. I did a small
Mm.
stream and I was showing off. Dude, that is not how that's supposed to work. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come back to here. There we go. I was showing off Milanote. I really like Milanote. I think it is quite amazing.
I don't know about that one.
Oh man, it's super cool. It's an iPad thing. I'll show it to you.
Cool.
Dude, agar agar is Japanese. Yeah, it's gelatinous, but it's not like Jello. If you ever had those Japanese candies where it's kind of a thick, hard. It's not hard. It's kind of like a. You ever seen the clear crystal stuff with fruit inside? And it's like it's not. Jello is flippity, so that's gelatinous. But agar agar can be stiff. You've seen it before. I know it, but I know I've seen it before because I go to Japan all the time. But yeah, agar agar
The
is a
little
little bit
cuppies.
different. Yeah, yeah. You've seen
Yeah.
it before.
You,
It's super,
it's like Jello
super
shots,
good.
but they're not.
They're not. It's super good. Super good.
Hmm. Did I put my lip balm? Where
Ooh,
did it go?
right? Gotta keep that sucker on the desk for when you live. All right, people in the
Yeah.
chat,
It was
how many of
really
y'all have a
good.
chapstick on deck for the stream? At first, I thought it was just me and Diana, and then we add India and Mary Lou and Michelle. So I know a whole bunch of our people got one on deck.
You have to be ready.
Dude,
And I
Diana
also
would be
like, so I did like,
midstream and she'd be like, okay, listen, so Sony had come out with the new, and then you want to use the clear image zoom? She get the Diana Gladney soup coolers are going. Yo, she
oh.
gonna pop up in here and be like, what you say, fool?
Yeah, actually, it was like doing,
Yes,
we're talking about inventory. I inventory like all my lipsticks. So I was like trying to buy another one. And I was like, girl, you have 100. Let's just use those.
Tora, I printed this 3D print thing for my ink pens, and so the chapstick just fits in the bottom one. I don't want to tilt it forward because it'll fall out, but I literally just printed this yesterday. Dude, I like Norwegian cookies because that was I don't know if it's Norwegian. There Turkish delight has like an agar type thing in it, but there was this thing from Scandinavia, and it has like the white powder and almonds and little pieces of fruit, and it's kind of like a harder gelatinous substance, and it's super good. I forgot what it's called, but I used to eat that too. It comes around at Christmas time. All right, let's breathe it out. Move the coffee cup before I knock it down. Got my water.
Gizmo, are you ready?
Got the
You ready,
40 water.
Gizmo?
All right. Let me stop the
Womp,
recording.
womp, womp, womp.
Counting it down in 5, 4.
What if I told you that the hardest moments in your life are the very reason that you're able to create the way that you create? Because that's what makes you you. Creators, your story, it matters. It matters, all of it. It matters because there's so many different ways to experience life. There's so many different ways to look at the world. And there's so many different experiences that shape who we are as individuals. So it all matters, but it is important to look back and take inventory. So we're going to reframe, we're going to take a look at what's happened, and we're going to use that to fuel and inspire your creativity. Let's get unstuck.
Ooh, I'm feeling unstuck already.
Yeah, good. We're done. Thank you. That's it.
All right, peace out. See you
End
guys
of
next
podcast.
week. You know, this is a good message and a good timing because one of the things recently I've been doing a lot is I've been doing this. It started out to be a 30-day challenge, and probably thanks to you, you jerk, it turned into no, keep going. So I'm still going. I'm still going. But yesterday, oh, actually, today is 47 days in a row that I've made a video. And one of the things that keeps coming up from people asking me, like, how are you doing it? Like, how do you find the time? And I think at one point in time, I would have told myself, I can't do that because I'm too busy. And I would have believed myself, I can't do that because I'm too busy. And I would have fought for the fact that, look, I do this, 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 and this. So you know for a fact I'm busy. You see what I do. I'm online all the time. It's not just sharing, oh, here's my lunch. You guys see me at events. You see me on the road. You see me flying. They see me roll. Sorry, I won't do that. Dude, did you know a chameleonaire became a tech billionaire? Almost tech billionaire now. He basically left the rap game and
Cool.
invested in a bunch of tech companies, and yeah, he's doing. He actually did
Wise.
become chameleonaire. Anyway,
Yes.
that's a different story. So it's very easy, and I say this all the time. If you fight for your limitations, you will absolutely win. You'll be correct. So I just started, and the process just started. The thing that screams out to me now that I wouldn't been able to have thought of before is that creating at this level makes no space for the BS. So I actually have more time now. Go figure. So when they say less is more, that's also true. With your time, if you spend less time doing XYZ, you have more time for something else. I guess that's sort of common sense, right? It's a push pull. But it actually showed me things that I may have been doing that weren't important or, not as prioritized. Hey, Giz. Giz is now a member of the podcast.
She just wanted to make sure she had an appearance. The little stubby tail walks by. And she's like,
no cats harmed in the making of this podcast.
Yeah, she's like, more time for a gizmo.
But yeah, it's really funny
Yes.
how that worked out, right? Just like as soon as I got into it and started doing the things, listen, I don't want to scare people by saying it's easy, because that's undermining the skill that it takes to do this. But it's easier than you think, maybe would be a good way to say it without taking away from what I've actually achieved.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it gets easier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right?
It's
The
like
more you do
relationship.
it.
It's so much easier the longer
Yeah.
you're in, right? If you're doing
Yeah.
it right.
Right. So, like with the self inventory, what are some things that you reflect back on with specifically the everyday challenge?
I have told many folks that when it gets started, don't worry about the editing. Just make the videos. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect. No one's expecting you to make a polished video. You just need to get in the habit of speaking to camera and doing your thing. Because I have tons of speaking to camera, because I have credits on actual TV shows and movies and things of that nature, I was like, I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the bodybuilding dude that's telling you how you got to do this so you can cut for competition and then go to Baskin and Robbins when he finished the gym. Right? It's because I'm already prolific and I'm in my thing and I have my trophies. Like, I don't have to do the remedial training per se. And I was like, no, bitch, eat your own dog food, go to the remedial, what you would call remedial training, and make those videos without the edits. Don't get crazy. And so, yes, you will. I won't say there's no editing, because I do add my comedic little punches here and there, but I'm not editing the way I was editing. Like, hey guys, let's edit for retention. Did you know? Like, F all that. Our audience is over 40, bro. They don't have ADD problems. They don't need that retention stuff. Well, actually, we do. We're just not diagnosed. We just medicated ourselves with drugs. But, they don't need that kind of editing. We've learned to deal with it before there was a real diagnosis, per se. So, yeah, a bunch of us are coping, but we've never used short attention span as an excuse. We found a way to work around it. So just trust me, the disease isn't new. The disease has been around for ages. But we just got a label for it later, and then coping mechanisms later, and medications later. But most of us that are over 40 that are running around with every single symptom in the book that are unmedicated, we just learned how to deal with it, mostly through getting beat up by teachers and hit by nuns and so forth, et cetera. They thought we were broken. They didn't know that this was normal. So we got taught different coping mechanisms. So we don't need that level of crazy editing and things of that nature. We're normally looking for something a little slower paced, a little bit more calm, a little bit more real. So the major takeaway for me has been maybe practice what I'm preaching a little bit more. And so I can't tell you to do something I wouldn't do myself. And so I just started doing it. I started doing it the way I want my viewers, my community, my listeners per se. What I want, I started making what I want them to make. So I wanted to lead by example. It's gangster. Like, I'm in and out of Final Cut so fast that app's still loading. I'm exporting. I'll put it on. Hey, I'm trying to get subscribers up to 20K, and here's my music, because I tried to change the song once and Kat came for me. She's like, "You can't change the song." What? It's Christmas. I don't care. Put the other song back. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. It was just like that. I
Ooh.
was like, yo, K-Walk, I thought she about to get a ticket. She about to come over here. Boy, don't make me pull this video over. So I put the song back and I'm like, I ain't touching it because I'm scared of K-Walk. She's a principal after all. So yeah, that's it.
So okay, so with now, so you've done the challenge.
Yes.
What kind of patterns have you identified that you were doing before you did the challenge that you kind of broke or you implemented when you started the challenge?
I am ashamed to say so, but I'll say it because my shame should be a lesson to you. I need the bell. Shame to kink. Shame to kink. I spent a lot of time overthinking what it's going to be like, what it's going to look like. And I think I spent a lot of time making the edits fancy, if you will, to brag that I can do it, to show off, if you will. If you go back and look at some of the Ecamm ads for promos and stuff that I've done for things like Leap and for Camp or whatever, like they're fire. I ain't gonna joke. They're straight fire. But for my own channel, that's not necessary. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to sell you $348 a year subscription. I'm trying to make you stop tripping and make some damn videos. So I don't need to do that. So I look at, this thousands of dollars of plugins that I got. And I'm like, I don't need to use none of them to do what I got to do. I can just make the video, turn it out. So that's it. I mean, theoretically, they're so lightly edited. I could technically edit them in CapCut, but my muscle memory is so fast in Final Cut. Like, I can open that sucker while it's still loading. Just be done.
Right. And that goes into like a strength, right? That's like
Yeah,
a strength that you realize. So why derail the momentum by going to another tool when you do have the strength in Final Cut already, right? That's why I stick
Right.
with Premiere. People are like, why do you use Premiere? I was like, because that's the one I'm quickest with. Like, I'm already like editing the third video in when the first one is exporting. It's already online. It's already, all these things are all
Yeah, our
happening
goal isn't to
simultaneously.
evangelize the editing app. Our goal is to get the video done so that the people who need to
Yeah.
hear what we got to say can hear what we got to say. And I think that's one of the challenges in this process. I literally made this video 2 days ago about sometimes the limitations is the creativity. The less is more. You know what I mean? Like trying to go get another camera puts you back at square one because now you don't know how to use this camera. I shot 3 videos since I started with my brand new Fuji. Every one of those videos took me a minimum of 30 minutes longer than they needed to. Why? I don't know how to use it yet. I know how to use any camera. Let's get this straight. Put any camera in my hand, I can fire and go. But the things that you dial in to make it, I don't know how to do because I ain't get that far yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't ran into that. And I also haven't been actively using it every day where I normally would power that through in like a week. So I did one where I recorded the whole damn video. I had the back microphone turned on and not the front microphone because it has 3 microphones, right? And I was like, you just dumb. You're just silly. I can't believe you did that. Or I shot one the whole time in bursting mode instead of in video mode because the familiarity, I can never say that word, the familiarity, whatever, the I know how to use this is not baked in yet. So it actually slowed me down. Where had I shot it with a phone or Osmo Pocket 3 or Osmo Action or Sony ZV-E10 or ZV-E1 or ZV-1 that now speaks French, like I would press go, done. But because I was trying to be cute and use the new thing, it actually slowed me up. So yeah, I'm just trying to like, yeah, just stop, man. Sometimes, yeah, Louis said it.
Well, a note on
Too
that
many learning curve leads you in circles. Oh, that's a Diana Gladney hashtag. Look, do not invoke her name one more time. She is like Beetlejuice. She will be up here.
Well, on the note of that ZV1 that now speaks French, that my sister has, she was like, whatever the settings are on this are perfect. So yeah, you know
It
what
was
you're
dialed
doing.
in
You know
by a
what you're doing.
doctor.
Yes, yeah. So she was like, I don't know what he did, but it's perfect. Cause she likes to dial in, right? Like
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
like similar where she wants to get it really, really perfect. She's like, I didn't have to do anything. And so like, yeah. And that's when you have experience, when you've done it enough, right? So there's a time to learn and
yeah.
then there's a time to do,
Whew.
right? And some of that can happen simultaneously, but it just depends on what you're trying to achieve. Like, so Doc, right? He's got a mission to hit his 20K subscribers. So now is not the time to learn. Now is the time to do.
Yeah. And it's an arbitrary number. Let's just get it twisted. It
Yeah.
is not, okay, I need to make sure I say this because I don't want people to feel some type of way because I say this all the time and I just want to make sure I'm absolutely clear. The 20,000 is just something to push for. It is purely arbitrary. It is not any validation of who I am. Okay? I don't put my weight in my subscribers. If I did, I would have less subscribers because I just lost another 8 pounds.
Congratulations.
So yeah, like I don't put my weight in it. That's not my validation. My validation comes from within. Do I get Tinkerbell juice when I get a good comment from Flo or Yolanda, Alicia, Mary Lou, Paul, my people? Yes, I love every second of it. You know, when I see one of y'all succeed after something that I may have taught you or whatever, absolutely, about that life, loving every minute of it. But getting, say, 20,000 subs is not really a validation. The only thing it does, and I just kind of think I understand this to be true, I could be wrong. I feel like the higher you are in that level, the more your video gets pushed out, which leads to my purpose, which is to affect as many people as possible with this positive, let's just get this mess done mindset. I'm on a mission to fix the planet. It is a Don Quixote-esque mission. I fully understand that. But I got my little guitar swung across my back. Me, I'm about to beat that windmill's ass.
Let's go.
Let's go. But
Yeah.
I
It's
will
a milestone,
fail
not a
enough
validator.
positively. Yes, it's not a validator. I just want to make sure that's clear because I don't want people to feel like they are less because they have less. It's not. It may not be necessary for your purpose, but I know what my purpose is, and in my case, for purpose, the numbers matter. The numbers matter because it's just mathematics. Or, as my British kinfolk say, it's just maths with an S. Technically, they're right. I don't know why we made it non plural. It should have stayed plural because of Pedmos. Anyway, never mind. I'm weird.
Okay, so advice for creators. What are some of the things that they should look for in their self inventory?
Okay, first of all, self inventory is literally reflecting on your experience, your skills, your challenges, your patterns. You know, I call it a SWOT analysis: strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. It's like literally sitting down with yourself, get your little notebook, get your little taste, or coffee, or a bucket of ice cream, some tissues because there might be tears. If you're doing it right, there might be tears. And you're going to literally sit down and you're going to focus on your wins, first of all. Start with your wins. Don't look at what you're lacking. Pretty much almost everything you're lacking can be fulfilled somewhere else. I think it's too easy to look upon what we're lacking. There's entire industries, billions of dollars industries designed to sell you what you're lacking. You probably don't need to fill that. Most of them are based around a standard that someone else set that you don't have to abide to. So let's just start there. But as you're doing your inventory, I would say focus on your wins. Then dig back into the here. This is perfect example. Now I got it. When we were doing class the other day, and I don't tell all her business, but Yolanda says she can't do this type of thing because of X. And then myself and Alicia and Gretchen and Luis, we all had the exact same face at the same time. Matter of fact, Paul C was there too. We had the same face at the same time. I was like, girl, you passed the freaking bar exam in multiple states. You passed law school. How can you look at this and even think that you can't possibly do this? You're smarter than all of us. And it just took a bunch of friends to like kind of push her along and be like, nah, girl, you got this. Look, even Brutus came out the back and was like, Mom, first of all, I got to go outside and pee. Two, are you tripping? Hurry up and finish this little stream with the dudes. I need to go outside and pee. And then he went back in the other room. Brutus is like this big dog. Like he looked like Marmaduke. Anyway, and yeah, it's easy as a creator to assume what you might be lacking. So the idea in a self-inventory, and I can use Yolanda's case again, is to look at upon what you have already succeeded in. I got folks, Marshall, worried about creating content. I'm like, bro, you got 5 kids. Are you kidding me? Like, this is nothing. 5 children's? I ain't got none because I'm smart. You out your damn, how can you not do this? You got all the marshals running around the house. You've already proven you can do the toughest things in life. You know what I'm saying? Me and Mary Lou, we scared. We like, nope, not today. Y'all can have that mess. So those of y'all that has raised children's, Gretchen, down to the grandkids already, and making them do stuff to piss off your daughter, which is genius. That's what I would do. Those of you guys who've already been married for a couple of years, who've built homes, like, yo, this stuff is simple, what we're trying to do. You've done the hard stuff already. So go back and look at your stack and be like, ha, I built this. It's I'm gonna say something super clowny. And everybody in here has done it at one point in their life. If you didn't, I'm gonna call you a liar. So we're gonna get adult for a second. Every one of us has got up out the bed one time like you just hit a walk-off homer. And you look at the person over there like, ha, take that. And you just walk yourself to the shower. Everyone has done the walk-off homer. If you didn't, you lied or you are horrible. You need to talk to a sex therapist. But look, even Hershey in the comments, yo, even Hershey knows, right? Every person in here that's an adult has done the walk-off homer at some point in their life. When you walked out, you wrapped the towel around. He's like, ha, ha, ha. So you got to treat this like that. Go look at just, I knew Luis would get a kick out of that. Go look at what you've created in the past. It's funny. I'm going to finish this. I've even said it to Luis before when he's like, oh, this might be a little bit of a challenge or whatever. I'm like, bro, you are a single dad and you work like crazy to keep nephew rolling. So everything else is BS. And Luis sees that as his superpower at this point. But like Diana, India, and I had to yell at him one time and be like, yo, you already Superman. Everything you trying to do over here is just noise. Like, come on, son. You know what I mean? Sorry, that one brings a little bit of a tear to the eye.
Yeah, because it's important to take the inventory and also like use that to give perspective to life. Because what we're doing here as creators on the internet, we're not like we're not curing cancer. We're not doing brain surgery, right? Some of us like we want to help, we want to give what we can, but if you are not creating as much as you want to, if you're not the type of creator you want to be, but like you're doing life, you're already winning.
Yeah.
You're already winning.
When you
right?
say
So
doing
don't
life, I start thinking about
that.
the ones I got away with.
Yeah, so like when people are like, "Oh my gosh, how do you create so many videos?" Like you're creating all the time. Doc's creating all that because we don't have kids, and it's like that's not necessarily because we're like, haha, you have kids. It's like, I don't know, that's just
I
like
do.
the path we chose. Thank you so much for continuing the human race.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful to the rest of you, because that was not my mission. So our missions is different. So that's why that's top of priority for us. We're like, you have a different top of priority. So taking that into perspective and thinking about those wins in addition to your creator wins. Because if you only look at like, I didn't make this many videos, or I didn't learn this new camera, or whatever, that's like, yeah, but like, what was the bigger situation? You know, what was the bigger thing that was happening? So things to consider as you take your inventory. Also, look at your wins, right? Because sometimes I think it's very easy to be like, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do this and I did. It's easy to inventory the bad.
Mhm.
But it's a little bit more challenging to sit back and you're like, wait, actually I did do that. Actually, yeah, we did go to Chicago to see Shore headquarters. Actually, yeah, we did go to NAB, and Doc introduced me to all these different brands. Yeah, we did do creator camp and like kill it and like meet all of our creators in person. We did do all of that. Yeah, sure did. Sure
You know
did. And
what's
so it's like
funny,
to think of
Lou,
those wins.
when you say that
Yeah.
is the fact that you have the equipment to open up a browser and go online and complain about something you don't got, you're already winning past half the country, right? And I want to take a minute to send some love to my brother Hirsch, because Hershey is visually different, but the skill that comes bigger from being visually different is the ability to listen and the ability to communicate. I get so many supportive comments from someone who has to work harder to make the comment. I want you to hear that. He has to go through extra steps to be here to put out what he got to put out. Now, here you sit, visually okay. I didn't know a safer way to say that. But you use your comment opportunity to whine, complain, say something stupid, whatever the case may be. Now, I don't mean you guys in the chat. I mean other people, right? So imagine Hershey doesn't have time or energy to go put vitriol out there as a visually impaired individual. It's like, I'm going to take the time I got to type something out or write something out. I'm going to just send love. So again, the limitation, as some people would see it, no pun intended, turn into an opportunity to just be a good person and just always be supportive, and has been a hero of mine since I started this channel. You know what I'm saying? So take that. Like the fact that you have everything possible so you can come and be some type of a-hole or whiny or listen, I don't mean to take this that left. I get super irritated when the sis come up in here talking about how hard they got it. I'm like, y'all are top of the food chain. What are you complaining about? Ain't nobody ever talk to you about your boobs or tell you should smile more or you should have kids or why ain't you married or clutch your purse a little tighter when you come next to them, or be like, oh, you speak eloquently, or all the other dumb crap that the rest of us others have to put up with. You're top of the food chain. And you're mad that somebody said something about you in the comments? I'm like, bitch, please. Cop never going to pull you over for just looking like you. I don't think people understand.
And to let that one marinate, because that's like for real. Like I sit and think about that one way more than I should. Where I'm like, but really?
Listen. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to reframe this podcast for a second. Yesterday, Anna asked what was our wins for the year, and like what was your highlight of the year. And I said my highlight of the year was going to NAB with Mary Lou Cat and Eden, and I went to NAB as a girl. So I didn't cross dress. I wasn't trans. There's nothing like that. But I went from the perspective of my sisters. I got schooled. I got schooled just watching the way people act to you guys. And it pissed me off. And I never noticed that because I've always gone as a dude, as a big dude, as a person that more people would be afraid of than I need to be afraid of them. But watching NAB through your guys' eyes makes me realize my industry is effed. And I'm not a part of that. I'm fixing it. So attending a conference basically as a female just opened up my eyes to how much just heinous whatever we have going down. And it makes me want to just change the way I do things. So yeah, like sometimes you have to you got to put yourself in some other folks' shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'll be mad for a second they're not Adidas, but hey, you got to see what it's like on the other side. Back to your regularly
Yeah, and that's
scheduled
like
unstucking.
the reframing, right? That's relevant because that's wasn't necessarily your doing, but it was your experience that you got to like see, and you're like, okay, now this is something I can do about that, right? Like with reflection for me was with these spaces where we're not so welcome all the time. It's like thinking to myself of like, why do I fight so hard to be in these places that I don't necessarily belong? Now, there's sometimes like you want to fight because you want to be there, right? Yes, like absolutely. And then sometimes it's like, well, or I could just go make a new place, you know? And that was like a big reflection for me because it was a lot of anger of like, but why? But why do you look at me different? Why do you treat me different? Why do you not accept me? Why do you like, why am I the one that gets passed over for a handshake in a very small circle of people?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I look like why am I blending into the wall for what? And then be mad about that. Or either I can keep pushing to make change and break things, or maybe that's just not the place I need to be and I need to be building something else. But things to think about. You know, it could be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit of both.
We'll find our way or make
all
one.
of the above. Yeah. And so that's, I've been having
existential.
I always do a lot of reflection all the time. It's a good thing. All good things. Because like I feel like I've had a very strong year. And like to skip to our pick of the week, pick of the year, just the thing that I've been reflecting on as far as journey is the fact that January of last year, I decided to start doing my live streams 2 times a week, 2 hours each time, Tuesdays and Thursdays for 2 hours each, just doing whatever I could, fixing the studio, learning things. And in one of those live streams, I said, you know what? I'm going to learn audio. And Doc happened to be in there and he said, got you. And that's like that moment from my decisions and his decisions has like changed everything. And now we talk weekly. Now we traveled 3 times together this year. We went on 3 trips together, and I've learned so much. I love seeing how he interacts with people and learning from like his expertise, right? Because he knows what he's doing. And he cares. Like, I don't know, like he can be brash, like Doc can be brash, but it's just because he gives a shit. That's
when
it.
I don't have that much time.
Yeah.
In my head, I don't have that much time to like make it softer and hold your hand. Most of us are people, we're over 40. So we're pushing the right, like if you were 20, maybe I'd be a little bit, patient with you, but you're an adult. You can understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to just say it. And if it hurts, I'll just dust you off. When you're done crying, I'll be like, can we get back to work? All right, cool. We got to get this done regardless. Whether you cry or not, we still got to get it done. So maybe that's just, yeah. But sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I was saying my pick of the week, my pick of the year is you, Doc. So thank you.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah. It's like I was like talking to Will about this last night, and I was like,
I am really
just
bad at
the
taking
arc from a
flowers,
year
people, by the
ago.
way.
Look at him go. Look at him go. I was like, "Are we gonna make Doc cry for the third time on this episode?" No, but it made a big difference, and I appreciate you like taking me under your wing to like teach me what you've taught me, and like put me in rooms where I would not have been put on my own. So I appreciate
Shut up, Tora.
it.
Tora says she's clipping. Go for it. Thanks, Lou. Like for real,
Yeah.
and I told Ken and Glenn yesterday on the stream, like if you can see it on the replay, I was like, I learned a lot from basically being around you because it's make me softer. If you think I'm brash now, you should have seen it before. You know? Um yeah, so for me, it's definitely I guess kind of reframing what's going on and realizing that I have to push harder. Tora, stop. I'm trying to be serious over here. She said the broccoli giant is leaking. I was talking to my dietitian yesterday and I told her that y'all made me eat a pound of broccoli. And then she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, so her name is Yolanda Bruce. Her address is." And she's like, "Oh no, that's good." And I was like, "Shut up, Jennifer. Let's just have this conversation. We're not doing this." Yes, but anyway, and I told Ken and Glenn, I was like, just being around you and seeing things from a different perspective is make it easier for me to sort of do the job because I understand, like people may not necessarily hear it when I'm trying to tell them. What I'm telling them is right, but it's still like it might be a little strong or whatever. So I've been learning how to bless that up. And Alicia has held me to my guns because my word for the year was grace. And every time I start slipping, Alicia's like, I was like, listen, damn it, leave me alone. And she's like, nope, I refuse. So honestly, for me, it has been finding the strength and the energy to push harder on what I was already doing. I think I got sidetracked a little bit from I guess just trying to do everything, trying to people please everybody, and I was like, yo, I can't really do that. And then I think even though it happened a while ago, losing my dad really made me remember that we ain't got that much time. And then so they're gonna just be some people who ain't gonna like what I gotta do or how I gotta do it. And you know what? Cool. It ain't about that. Absolutely cool. We can do without. All right. I can just move past them and go somewhere else. So honestly, the biggest milestone for me was sort of reframing everything and coming back. And like Tor said, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's very good. All of it. Like, and the fact that like when we talked about this and like we agree on a lot of things, right? And we are like we have the same opinion, but it was like just different approaches to getting it to people. And then our powers combined, and you get creators unstuck, right? Which has like been one of my favorite projects, like in forever. Like this, I love this project. I love doing this podcast because we get to talk about the things that we would be sitting and talking about no matter what. At least we get
Right.
to share
Right.
it with community.
Well, the other thing that's good too, I should say this, and I should really point this out because I think it's super important. Develop just Gretchen just said like I'm developing the sight of another view, and that's because of you. Because Gretchen and Yolanda and Alicia and Luis have all been like, no, 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 this. I'm like, nah, damn it. I'm telling y'all it's like this. And they're like, no, it's not. It's this. I'm like, what y'all talking about? And then they just keep pushing. And then I finally like, okay, you guys are right. I hate y'all. But like even they have been able to push me to like, see something a different way. And Alicia a lot, especially because now she's found her voice. I should have left her quiet in the corner, but unfortunately woken her up, and now she has the voice to push back and be like, "You are not explaining it the way you think you're explaining it." I'm like, "What you talking about?" She goes, "You keep starting like 50 yards down the track. You need to get your ass back in the block and explain what a block is." I'm like, it's track. You always start from the block. She's like, so? I'm like, but you see that? You see Shakiri, she be like this. She got her little nails there. She pull her braids to the side. She click the foot in the thing. She click her other foot in the thing. That thing is a block. Let's go. No, bitch. Explain the block. And I'm like, AT, you little, and bad words be coming out. And Yolanda be like, she right though. And I'm like, shut up, Yolanda. And then Gretchen be like, they right. I was like, Gretchen, I thought we was tight. And Gretchen's like, nah, explain the block. I was like, all right then, listen. Block, it says Gill. That's normally the brand. You stick it in the ground and you put your little feet in there, So they back me all the way back up because they're like, no, you keep explaining it like we've been driving for years. Like, I just opened Final Cut. What the heck is this? It's the timeline. I know what it says. What is it? Oh, okay. So yeah, they've been kicking my ass the last couple of months. I'm like, who woke these damn people up? Can I trade them for some different people? And the whole time, Aubrey just be in the back cheering them on. Yeah, you go, AT. I'm like, shut up, Aubrey. Like, y'all is no good.
It's like they see us interacting and they're like, oh, we can push back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's your fault. I'm blaming you for them.
But it's good, like, because then we all grow, right? Because like,
yeah, it helped me. It's helped me
you
a lot.
challenge us, we challenge you, like, and then we all grow from there. And
Yeah,
that's
Rodney
like
King.
the beautiful thing about community.
Can't we all just get along? I'll be talking about me. I ain't do nothing. You be the main one in the back. Yeah, girl, you go ahead. I'm like, leave me alone, Aubrey. After Aubrey will start a fight, and then she's like, I gotta go. Paula called me. I gotta leave.
All right, so let's hit them with some practical tips on how they can actually do this, because we can sit here and like go back and forth on how great you are and all day long. I could do that. We can play that game, but when people are inventorying themselves, that's the harder place.
Yes.
Right? To look at
Yes.
yourself. So what are some practical tips you got for folks?
Listen, I've been saying this a lot, and I think it sounds scary to people because they think that they're going to sit down and be like James T. Kirk or whatever and do like the full ass captain's log. But it could literally just be one sentence. Journal, people. Journal. Don't got to buy nothing fancy. You can use a 99-cent notebook. You could have a stack of old pad like this one I stole from some hotel, the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. Here, you could just have a stack pad like this and just write on each page and don't just peel them off until you finish. Like, you don't need anything particular. You will find out later you kind of want a nice pen and a nice paper just because it feels good, but you could just do that. If you don't want to do pen and paper, Apple has the journaling app built into the phone. Day One is another good journal app. You can use Apple Notes. You can use Google Keep. You can email yourself every day. I don't care how you do it. Journal. Just journal. Use the voice memos.
It's like a newsletter. Like,
Bro,
you're making a newsletter to yourself.
To yourself.
Right? And you could just like send it to an email, like make an email for this journal. Right? And if you're like, you don't want to write to yourself, like write it like it's a, like you're famous and it's a newsletter and you need to let the people know what happened today.
I'm going to say something evil or very poignant, okay? Because again, I'm not afraid to pull punches. Not journaling is selfish. Why do I say that? If you have any children's, not journaling is selfish. My dad taught June and I a whole heap of stuff. Like, June and I are the editors, the video production folks that we are to this day, because my dad was one of the best in the business and he taught us everything, but not really. He still has so much more to teach us. As he started getting older and getting, like a little sick, he kept saying, all right, I got to teach you this, 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 and this. And then we're all busy. June busy doing what he do. I'm busy doing this. My dad was busy, taking care of mom as she got her dementia, whatever. And being a caretaker, you often get sick. Well, he got sick and he passed before he had a chance to teach us everything. My dad was a practical person. In other words, show you in practicality, not tell you, not write it down. So a whole bunch of stuff that he could have taught us is sitting in punch bowl right now in a box. My dad was not selfish in any way, shape, or form. He would give his shirt to somebody that makes shirts. He was a very giving person, but he kept all of that knowledge in his head because he never wrote it down. Because why write it down when I got millions of dollars of video equipment, I can make a video. You see what I mean? So in a way,
I feel like that for people's
not
day-to-day
sharing
content.
yes.
Like that's what you should be sharing. Yeah, but like when you were saying it's selfish not like to not journal, I thought a little bit more. I went in the direction of because of the emotional shrapnel. Because if you don't work through how you're feeling, it's gonna damage other people.
Yep.
Emotional shrapnel, and you're like, yeah. So that's like another angle of it, right? Because there's journaling, like in the sense that you're saying is like actually like here's how to do things. So that's essentially what we do with our YouTube channels, right? We're like,
well, just talk about
I
your
just have
day
all
so
these
your
like
kids
things.
can reflect on what you were thinking or what you were going through. Like even understanding how he was managing, mom when she started to get, dementia. Like, what if I'm in that position and I could go off of his teachings? I just wanted, there's stories that I wanted to hear, things that I wanted to know, like the deeper insides of his reflection. And when I get to watch TV and I see, oh, Captain's Log started blah, 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 or I see other people doing it, I'm like, yo, how come people in our community never really wrote memoirs? I've read a whole bunch of people's memoirs. As a prolific reader, that's what you do. But I'm like, yo, none of my biologicals didn't do it. My adopted one didn't do it. Like, even when Steve passed, I'm like, damn it, Steve, you left us with a company to run with, no memoirs to go upon. You had it all in your head because you was Stephen P. Jobs. No, bitch, you should have wrote that mess down. I mean, we kicking ass at this moment. I still say we. I left the company more than 10 years ago. But, I mean, still kicking ass at this very day. But I just feel like, if you journal, I don't know who can read this later on. But it's here anyway. And it helps me, like you said, it keeps me from like lashing out at somebody else. It helped me realize that I learned just as much from Alicia, Yolanda, Paul, M, as I teach them. You know what I mean? I learned just as much from you as I teach you. So to me, writing this stuff down has just opened up things. It even allowed you to open up old wounds and heal it.
Yeah. And if writing's not your thing, you can record audio, right? We've got our little AI tools, our voice recorder tools. You are a video creator. Do a video journal. Make a video for yourself to look at in a year. Be like, you know what? In a year, I hope this. Future me. Here's things you need to know.
That's what it is. It's
Past
protecting
me.
you from the
Here's things
future
I need
you.
to know.
Or you're helping the future you. All right, so listen. Here's your deal. What is a challenge that I overcame? Say that, right? What is a skill or strength that I am overcoming? Boom. What is a skill or strength that I'm lacking? Boom. What is something I learned about myself today? Boom. What is something I learned about my friend or my partner or my coworker today? Uh, what event happened in history today that might change or shape the way that I see myself? Right? How did Wolverine and Deadpool hit me? You know, what is this thing I learned? Yeah, there's so many. It's so many. Like, to me, listen, it's just fun to look back at the old ones and be like, oh, come on, Joel said the best one. What did I spend time on today?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if you think it through, there are those of us who has done something and you said, oh my God, that was an absolute freaking waste of time. Then it comes up a little bit later, and for whatever reason you do it, and after you go, oh my God, that was a waste of time. But you just uttered that. You didn't reflect upon it. You just uttered it. The third time, waste of time. Fourth time, maybe you catch yourself. And you're like, I done did this like 5, 6 times. I keep trying to do it. It's still a waste of time. But had you reflected upon it, the next time it comes apart, you're just going to be like, I'm not doing that. Why? It's a waste of time. So doing the same thing over and over again, expecting it to be different, Einstein, is insanity. So if you take time to reflect upon it, boom. Somebody gave you a sermon today, reflect upon it. Like, how do I make that work? Just, celebrate them victories, folks.
All right, I got a couple of rapid fire questions for you. What's something you considered a weakness that's now a strength?
Showing the imperfections, like blatantly showing them. I put them joints on the street. I'm like, I'm gonna do it wrong, and I don't care. I just want you to see that it's all good. So for me, it's not being not being perfect and absolutely showing the imperfections from the gate.
What's a moment in your past that you now see as a turning point?
I almost died twice. I ain't trying to see the third one. I think a lot that has to do with my recent rapid fire, like let's go, shut up, let's move, was I had a really crazy high blood pressure spike in the middle of September, and when I went to go check it, they were like, "Yo, this will kill you again. You already been dead before. This will kill you again. You need to fix it." And so that's why I've been on the no salt and doing the diet. Well, not really the diet. It's a freaking whole ass change. And basically that day I was 276, and then yesterday I'm 257. So 19 pounds in a couple of months, and the blood pressure dropped 16 points. And the doctor said, still higher than I want. And I just told the doctor, have you met Paul Duncan? And then
Okay. What's a hard lesson that you're now grateful for?
Probably there's two. One was let's just rip the Band-Aid, get this done. My need to fix everything almost ruined a dear friendship. I talked about that on the podcast before because I was like, stop being a bitch. Let's turn this going. Let's just go. And my friend was like, I didn't ask you to fix me, you mother. I just asked you to listen. And so it's still hard for me to not want to fix everything. I'm a fixer. But some things, sometimes they don't want you to fix. They just want you to shut up and just listen. And that's hard for me. Like, it just is. Because I just feel like I can fix everything. I don't know why I feel that way. But I just try to fix everything. And then the other one was losing my dad. But I had to see how he burnt it in order to make sure that I don't do the same. Don't repeat the history.
Yeah, don't repeat the history. And that's where the journaling, right? Like helping, like leaving these legacy, leaving these memoirs is so we can learn from history. So in your journey, in your memoir, your living memoir, tell us one thing that is from your journey that you appreciate from your journey so far. Like, what is something that you're like, if you were to take this one thing away from my book, here's a thing.
I would say the biggest one is self-talk is more dangerous than heroin. Self-talk is more dangerous than cocaine. Self-talk is more dangerous than fake fucking fentanyl. It might not, those might kill you directly and quickly. Self-talk will kill you every damn day. And you wouldn't stand for that from outsider. If somebody said that to you, you'd be like, say it to my face. But yeah, self-talk is, it's evil.
Silent killer in this industry.
Whole bunch of people out there reading a book every day, talking about Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus. And then they would self-talk themselves with something heinous. And I'm like, you always talking about your faith, but then you self-talk yourself something silly. Them shits don't match, homie. So which is it? You a person of faith or you a person of fake? Because if you're a real person of faith, you wouldn't allow yourself to self-talk yourself like that. Because you would never talk that way to one of God's creations. And this is an atheist calling you out. So deal with that shit.
Layers.
Layers.
Layers. Well, this has been awesome, and as like Tora says in the comments, I think this is one of my favorite episodes we've done. Like, this is fantastic, and I think it is a good reflection, especially this being episode 20 of Creators Unstuck.
Yeah,
which
next episode we gonna be an adult.
That? Yes, and like who does that? Where like you actually talk about, oh, we should do a podcast, and then you actually do it. And then within the same year, we got 20 episodes up.
Yeah.
We had a whole branding photo shoot. We got graphics. We have all the things. It's killer.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And again, people listen. The goal here is just that you pick up on one thing. You don't have to absorb it all. Like, we're not trying to sell you an Unstuck course or you got to do it our way or whatever. I just want you to hear from you. I want you to hear from you and find something that works and adjust it so that it fits. If you need the vegan version, take the vegan version. If you need the alcoholic version, take that version. Like, whatever. Because everybody has some greatness inside them. So you have to, you got to reflect, man. Like, that's the reason why the water was the original mirror. The same thing that sustains us as a people, water, also allows us to see ourselves. Why is that?
Cool. Never thought about that.
Me neither.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
This is how those old philosophy guys did it.
Yeah, we're sitting around the fire and we're like, you know what?
Damn,
Water.
that required a joint. That would have been real good with a joint.
Ooh-wee. Wow, so good. I really appreciate these conversations, and I hope that you continue to have these conversations with us, whether you're in the live audience or you're watching the replay. We love to talk about this. We want to get to the nitty-gritty of being a creator and really like of being human, right? We want to look at things with care, with empathy, and then like a little push to get you unstuck. So you can be a good
Don't get stuck like Chuck. Tune in to Creators Unstuck with Doc Rock and Mary Lou Mendel.
Okay, it's my turn now.
Yes, sure.
Is that little girl? She's like, it's my turn to get creator therapied.
Yo, that's just little Mary Lou at the end of the thing.
It's my turn.
It's my turn now. Yo, this is good. This is good. Family, you know what it is. That lady over there, that's Mary Lou Mandel, my partner in crime. She's literally the bestest in the Westest. So make sure you go and find her on the internets under Mary Lou Mandel. That's Mary with the IE and the Mandel with the DL. There's no extra E over there because she used it in the first part. It's the only one on the internet.
Exactly.
If you find another one, that is imposter syndrome.
And this over here is Sean, but you know him as Doc Rock. I went to the wrong side. This side. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can find Doc all over the internet at Doc Rock, and you totally should because he's killing it over there. He's practicing what he preaches and showing you can just do it. You just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do
Get
it.
out of your own way and let's just do it. Let's
That's
do it.
that's a new sample I got to put in my roadcaster from the Tone Loc. Just do it. You know what we say right here, people, when it's over? See you. Get it? Critics and stuck. See you. Fam, that was crushed. I love it. I love it.
Okay, wait, I gotta know why Paul Duncan is traumatized by journaling.
Yeah. Well, even if you is, I was traumatized by a whole bunch of things. I still got to do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I got traumatized by almost dying twice. I still got to live. Just do it. Somebody found it. Wait, I know you're here. We can hear you. You're just muted.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, when I was a kid, I used to write all kinds of stuff. And I had, things I thought about people. And I was...
The Shade book.
Yeah. No, I was, I was gay as long as I can remember.
What do you mean
I wrote
was?
stuff. I still am.
Okay.
I tried to convert, but it didn't work. But I had written stuff about guys in school, the young kids, and fantasy stuff. I had somebody grab that, and that became known to everybody in school. And even today, when I start to write something like that, I literally start freaking out because it's somebody's going to steal it, somebody's going to read it, somebody's going to. It was so bad as a kid that my parents, we had to move to a different town to get away from everything that was going on and the stuff that was being said by the other kids and the parents and all that stuff. I became the threat of the neighborhood. So it's just, it's to this day, it's still traumatic for me to try to write stuff down.
Wow. That's deep, son.
So.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that because I was very curious because I was like, there's a real story behind that because for Paul to be scared of journaling, I was like, there's something there. So thank you for sharing that, and I hope that you could tell us about boys all the time if you want. You just start a whole channel talking about that. We'll break you of that.
Dude, that's crazy.
I do frequently, but yeah, it was so. Yeah, it's something I've tried over the years to do, but I do a little bit, and then it's like paranoia sets in, and it's like, who's gonna care what I have? But it still pops in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
so if you were to do it like video journal, would that be harder or easier? Because you're used to talking on camera now.
It might be a little bit easier, but I still think there'd be a section of me that would get. I mean, because I've thought about doing some stuff, kind of talking about the stuff that I've experienced, as a gay man growing up and as a gay kid growing up and stuff, and what it was like for me, and it's still a little bit, I think if I had somebody talking with me, it might be easier, but for me just to start talking, I think would, the sweat would start pouring.
One thing that you can maybe just try is realizing that with Day One or even the Apple Journal, some of the other ones, you can put like levels of, 256-bit encryption. Like the FBI can't open it.
This knows that.
I kind of thought you did, but just making sure. Just making sure.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want to like have somebody talk through it with you, like I'd happily interview you and guide through conversations if that's something that you wanted. We get a whole panel
I feel
of like
you have
young
stories.
gay people.
I feel you have stories and things that would definitely help, man. You know what I mean? I really do. I think you have stories that would definitely help and would like open up doors. So that's completely understandable. Like for real. So like Mary Lou said, I'm glad you said that. But I would love to see if somebody could you can change the names to protect the innocent. Like we can make an unknown book by an unknown author. It still
can blur
would,
my
still would be
face.
powerful. Huh? No, just
I
make an
could blur
unknown
my
book by
face and
unknown
ch-
author. Just let's literally put it out as you know that guy who writes all the quotes on the internet, unknown? You could just be him.
I get a lot of credit.
Cool. For all of your unknown things. Well, that was very good. I've got to scoot, but yes, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat, friends.
Yo,
And we'll
for
see
sure.
we'll see you next year.
Dude, that was good stuff. All right. So somebody is messing with Kittle. One of y'all is shaking something.
Maestro
All right.
just got fed.
Oh, that's what it is. Maestro's twirling around in the
Automatic
bowl.
feeder.
I knew it was one of them cats. All right, gang. We'll see y'all. Don't worry, be crazy. We'll be back. Happy holidays. Enjoy yourself. If have yourself a merry little Christmas or whatever. And then he said, "Unknown is my favorite office." Paul, Hank is talking to you. Listen to Hank. How you doing, Hank? Good to see you, brother. Thank you, people. Anyway, y'all be good. Pasta lasagna. Wait, why the button didn't press?
You have been unstuck. With creators Unstuck, Doc Rock, and Mary Lou Mandel.